hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie. The theme of the tier tray today is Farm Fresh Fall. I'm going to decorate my little wood 2-tiered tray, and I'm going to use items from the Dollar Tree. And I wanted to do like a farm theme. I thought that would be cute for farm fresh pumpkins and all that kind of stuff. So to start off with, I always like to have like kind of a big decoration at the top of my tier trays. And I thought that this little windmill would be perfect. It's a little hanging windmill. It spins and stuff like that. And I got it at the Dollar Tree in like the lawn and garden section. I don't really want the little welcome sign to be on there though. So I'm trying to remove that with a little bit of heat and some pliers. Now, if you use one of these, be careful because you could definitely cut yourself. I found the heat didn't work as well as just kind of bending it back and forth, but I just want the little windmill. I'm going to try to attach that to the top of my tier tray, and it'll be like a little signature piece at the top, and it's going to be perfect for like a farm theme, and it even spins. It's perfect as is metal. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I just tied it on to my little hook on the top of my tier tray with a little bit of twine, and it's a perfect start. Okay, so now I wanted to make a little barn, and so I'm going to use one of these cute little farmer's market stencils and just a house I have left over from the shore living line at Dollar Tree. It's a nice sized house, and I thought it would be a perfect barn. So I just removed the little foam sticker that was on there, trying to get any residue off. I'm just going to go ahead and paint this side where it says a mermaid lives here. And I kind of wanted to do like a light blue and orange theme for my pumpkins and for this tier tray today. So I'm going to make my barn blue. But, you know, you can make your barn whatever color you want. Red would be really cute too. And I'm going to use just like, I think this is Caribbean blue color. I probably should have went over it first with white because there's white writing on there. But I didn't. I did blue, so I did have to do several coats to get that to cover up all of the writing on there. And then I thought I could paint on the farmer's market like with white and like orange. So we can do that blue and orange theme on here. So as you can see, it took like 3 coats of acrylic to cover all of the writing. And then you couldn't see that through anymore. I just left the top part of it, the wood color. It's a little darker than I like, and so I will end up distressing that a little bit, but I think it's fine. It looks kind of like a barn. And this little stencil is just about the right size. It's a little bit larger than this house, but we're going to make it work. So I just touched up along the roof line there to make sure all of that paper is covered. And I went ahead and decorated that side instead of the back just so I wouldn't have to end up finishing the back. So this is the stencil I found at the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree. I think it's so cute. And so it doesn't sit really super flat because of that roof line. But this is going to be kind of rustic looking anyway, so it doesn't have to be a perfect stencil. We're just going to do the best we can. So I'm just going to tape it down with some painter's tape to keep it relatively still. Taping that down to my mat, and then we're going to start painting this. Since it's not real tight, I was worried that it was going to bleed a lot. So I decided to do my first coat in that same Caribbean blue color that we used before to maybe, if it's going to bleed, it would bleed more of that color. So hopefully that'll help a little bit. As you can see, the stencil's just not down real tight. I guess I could have cut it around that roof line, but we made it work. Now for the farmers and the market, I'm going to do ivory. So I'm just going to use one of those little Dollar Tree stencil foam brushes and just pounce all along. Trying to just go down and not like back and forth at all because, again, it's not real tight on there. Just give a nice coat of that. I decided to go ahead and do the chicken too, even though I'm going to go back and paint that one a different color. And I'm just going to use, I think this is called pumpkin. I'm going to kind of mix that with a little bit of ivory, give myself like a light orange color. I really love like the light blue pumpkins and the orange pumpkins for fall. And so I want to do those today, and I want this to kind of coordinate. It's going to be a sign and it's going to be a barn. So I'm just going to do my chicken in that orange color. I guess it's a rooster. And we can peel it off and see how it did. It did pretty good. One of the leaves there didn't do great, but I think it's going to work. So I want to distress it a little bit though, just to make it look a little bit more rustic. So I'm going to use a chunky brush from the Dollar Tree and some more of that ivory. And I'm just going to lightly distress all over. That helps to hide any imperfections with the stencil, and it kind of goes with a little coastal, not coastal, kind of farm rustic decor. And I'm also going to distress like the wood on the barred roof. And that's all there is to it. This project is complete, and I think it's a great start to our little farm fresh fall tier tray. I'm going to do this one on the top. It was a little wobbly, so I did glue a Jenga block from Five Below. I was drawing a blank there to the back to make sure that it doesn't fall over. Now from the Dollar Tree, I'm going to use one of these little hay bales. I thought that'd be perfect for a farm. And then we can just put some pumpkins on there. I just have some pumpkins I have left over from Target Dollar Spot last year. And that is actually, the big one is a Dollar Tree pumpkin that I painted like a little better color of orange than the way they come. And I'm going to kind of sit this back here in the back next to our little barn and just put a couple of those pumpkins on top. That way you can see it. Now check out this cute little pumpkin dish I got at the Dollar Tree. I think it's so fun and it's perfect. I'm just going to kind of stand this on the front here up against the pole so I won't have to use like any kind of rack to make it stand up. It's just going to kind of lean up against there. Now it's a farm, so we need a tractor, and I found this little tractor at the Dollar Tree, like with their fairy garden section. You can leave it green, but the paint job's not great, and I kind of want to go with that light orange, light blue theme for everything. So I thought I would just give it a little makeover. So we're painting all over with that lightened pumpkin orange color. And it was kind of hard to cover that dark green with this light orange acrylic, so it did take several coats to get good coverage. I don't mind a little bit of it showing through because it's just going to kind of make it look a little bit distressed. I'm trying to avoid the tires, but I did get some paint on them, so I'm just going to switch to a tiny brush and some black acrylic and just kind of touch those up as well. I'm also going to paint like the silver hubcaps, like black. It's just going to be like two colors. It's just going to be orange and black. Just a very simple little tractor for our little Farm Fresh Fall tier tray. And you could go back in there and paint like the windows and stuff on if you wanted, but we're going for simplicity today. So we're going to set the little tractor over here in front of the little barn that we made. And then for the other side, I thought we could do a little truck filled with hay. This is from the fairy garden section as well. It's a perfect size for a tier tray. It's nice and cute and little. I don't really want it to be red though. So I'm going to go in with some of this light blue. I think this is Cloudless is the color. And kind of just paint all over the parts of the truck that were red. The hay on the back is perfect, and the brown part of the truck is perfect as well. So I'm just trying to switch that red part to the light blue, and then I'm going to touch up the tires a little bit with some black as well. And just super easy. That's all we're going to paint on that one too. And that's going to kind of go with the blue part of the tier tray. We're going to sit this over here in front of the hay bale, and it's got hay in the back. And then more fairy garden stuff. I found this little chicken and chicks. And then this little hay bale. There's some pigs too if you want them. I didn't really end up using those. I'm going to use a little tiny hay bale. And then this one is like crops. And like a little wheelbarrow full of maybe apples. And I'm just going to kind of fill in the rest of the top tier with these little fairy garden items. They're very tiny, but you know what? They're perfect for a tier tray. So I'm just going to kind of fill in that area with all of those items. You could use the pigs too. They were kind of tan color. They didn't really remind me of pigs. I might have used them, maybe if they were pink. And then I just have a few more pumpkins from the Target dollar spot that I got last year. And we're just going to kind of sit those around as well because this is going to be like a pumpkin patch. Just kind of filling up any open areas with some assorted pumpkins. And I think that looks good. We have the top of our tier tray done already. So these projects were really easy today, and this was really an easy tier tray to put together for fall. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about our private Facebook group. I'll post a link below. You're going to love seeing how creative everybody is in the Crafty Beach community. And I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest at Crafty Beach on YouTube. And I would love to see you over there. Okay, we're next DIY. I'm going to use one of these little dry erase easel stands, I guess they are, from the Dollar Tree, and some of these beautiful fall napkins from Dollar Tree as well. And I thought we can make a little pumpkin sign. And this turned out so cute. These napkins are just beautiful. I wasn't sure how it would be to decoupage on that dry erase, but it actually did work. So I'm just going to unfold my napkin. I'm going to cut it in half because I only need like half of it. And it's also like a 2-ply napkin. And so I'm just going to peel that apart. I only want the top layer that has this beautiful image on it. These are so pretty. I love this. And I am just going to attach that to our little sign. The sign is a perfect height for the bottom of our tier tray. And I'm just going to use some Mod Podge. So I kind of go over with a nice thin coat of Mod Podge, trying to get good coverage on there, but I don't want to go too thick. And then all I have to do is lay my napkin on there, kind of figure out exactly where I want it. And lightly lay that down. Just like that. Try not to move it around too much. And then with dry fingers, I'm just going to lightly smooth that on there. Trying to get rid of as many wrinkles as I can, but again, trying not to rip it either. And it goes on pretty smooth. It kind of gives me like a canvas feel. There are a few wrinkles on there, but that's okay. So I just smooth it down the best that I can, and then I'm just going to use a sanding block from Dollar Tree to very carefully sand the sides, and it's going to give me a perfect cut for the edges of the sign. And this turned out so cute, and it was so easy to put together. Now, I did kind of slightly tear it on the top, but it's white up there, and the sign was white, so it wasn't real obvious. The only thing was it looked a tiny bit shiny up there. So I did go back and Mod Podge the top. I usually don't when I work with napkins because I don't want to mess it up. But just to make sure everything looks matte and kind of covers up that area. And I guess it's going to help further seal it as well too. And this is the final product, a little pumpkin sign for our farm. And I'm just going to sit that down here. The colors are perfect, the blue and the white and the orange. Now this also came from Dollar Tree. It's one of those little doorknob pillows and it says Happy Fall. The colors are absolutely perfect. I'm just going to cut the hanger off of it. And I love using little tiny pillows for tier trays. I think they're so fun. I'm just going to kind of prop this one up on the back. I have an extra pumpkin sign just to make sure it doesn't fall over. And I'm just going to, it could be anything back there, just to make sure that it stays standing up. And then I have another Happy Fall. This is a little metal pumpkin that I also got at Dollar Tree. It's got pumpkins and a little wheelbarrow and it says Happy Fall, and I thought this would be perfect for a tier tray too. Just the right size. I'm just going to remove the raffia bow and the string that hung it. And I want to just repaint the border. It looks a little dark and I want to do a lot of that orange and blue today, so I thought I would bring the orange into this project. And I'm just going to go all around with that pumpkin color acrylic and just paint the edges with a tiny brush. Now, it was a really kind of a dark color that I was trying to make orange. And so it did take several coats of this to get it the orange color. I probably should have went white on this first, and it probably would not have taken me so many coats. But it doesn't have to be real neat. I just want kind of an orange border on there. And I love these little metal signs from the Dollar Tree. They have some really cute stuff this year for fall. And there we go. We have our little wheelbarrow for our pumpkins. It says Happy Fall. And I'm going to put that down here. I'm just going to kind of lean it up against the middle part of my tier tray. That way it will stand up on its own. Now, this is a big chunky pumpkin I got last year at the Target dollar spot. It's just natural wood and orange. I don't think I really need to do anything to it. I'm just going to kind of sit that one over here. I think it goes well with everything else on this tier tray. And it's a nice, cute pumpkin. This is another fairy garden item. It is a little chicken coop, maybe. It's got a little chick on there. And I kind of thought it would go good with the farm theme as well. I'm not going to paint it or anything. I'm just going to kind of leave it as is. And here is another dollar spot find. It's a little pick your own pumpkin sign. It's kind of plain though. It doesn't really have a pumpkin on there. And so I thought we could add one. I got these little pumpkin stickers at the Dollar Tree, and there is a blue and orange and a tan one. And I'm just going to peel and stick that on here, and I think that makes that little sign from the dollar spot so much cuter. And you know, those dollar spot signs that are $1 are even cheaper than the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to kind of set that little palette over here. A little pick your own pumpkin sign. I also got this for $1 at the Target dollar spot. Cute little pumpkin sign. And I got both of those this year too, and it was only $1. I'm going to sit this in front. It's nice and short, so you can still see the items behind it. And then I thought I would fill it in. I just have some extra lamb's ear left over from a project that I got at Walmart. I'm just going to cut it into little pieces, just so I can have a little bit of that soft, fuzzy greenery, like sticking out, and to use it as filler for the bottom tier of our tier tray. I always like my tier trays to be as full as I can, and whenever I use greenery like this, I think it really helps fill everything out. I'm just going to scatter those around everywhere where there's kind of room for one. And it's going to bring a beautiful plant-like feel into that for the pumpkin patch. I love those fuzzy leaves. I think they're so pretty. And then I'm just going to use some pumpkins. I got these at the Dollar Tree. These are like a light orange, like burlappy pumpkin. We're going to use those for filler on our tier tray. And just for variety, I also got some of like these orange velvety pumpkins, also from the Dollar Tree. You get 5 in a package, and we're going to use those as well. And we're just going to fill in the rest of the tier tray with pumpkins. And it is about full. We're just going to kind of stage these around. And wasn't that an easy tier tray to put together? I used all items from the Dollar Tree and a few items from the Dollar Spot, and I think they all look so pretty for fall. And this is pretty, like, this isn't like Halloween specific or anything like this, so you could leave this up all the way until Christmas if you liked. I'm going to finish it up with a little tiny pumpkin here on top of the sign. Going to rearrange a few and complete. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I appreciate you so much. Don't forget to like, comment your favorite DIY below, or just come say hello. And if you haven't subscribed, please do. We're almost to 10,000 subscribers. Okay, time for the final reveal. And thank you so much to all of my financial supporters that have sent me super thanks and bought me a coffee. I appreciate you.
Open up the window. I'm breathing in the last of September. I can feel the wind blow, and the late summer sky is like a giant ember. Everything is turning into gold when the autumn